Hi there, and welcome to the Call to Cinema. My name is Aaron, and it happened again. This is 2 days in a row that this has happened. I have gotten ready to make a video. Yesterday was the indicator video with the stuff that was being announced from was it Eureka, I think. And so I had it, set it up, did my thumbnail, was all super stoked about it. Went to Twitter to let people know that I was making a video. And there's a Severin announcement. Switch the game up big. Because it was a big Severin announcement. So today, 1-1 Films announced their summer sale, which we're going to be talking about. And looking into that, there's around 158 titles, unless some have gone out of stock. They go to stock pretty quickly. So I got ready, and I got like a Death Stalker thumbnail. I was really proud of it. Hey there, George. Welcome, man. I was super proud of my Death Stalker thumbnail. I set it up. I went to Twitter, and Severin made an announcement. So I guess before we go into the 1-1 film sale, which we're going to go through, I guess we're going to have to look at this Severin announcement because it's a fairly big one, and one that I think a lot of people are going to be pretty stoked about. Because it's not just a 4K, which is how many Ks we all love when we're collecting films. 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks. But it's Lucio Fulci. And you guys know, I love me some Fulci. He's one of my favorites. Vinegar Syndrome's Evan Press announcement of the zombie comic book set my heart a patter. Yeah, one of those things. So what did they announce? Hey. Well, what they announced, I have it. Hold on. Not the new one. I have the original edition because I collect from Scorpion and Code Red. And that's where they initially came from. That's where the Severin release initially came from. Hold on. Pretty quick. So we are getting hey there, Vince. Welcome, man. A brand new 4K restoration from the OCN for The Psychic, otherwise known as 7 Notes in Black. And not just that. Hey, Strange, and welcome, man. I know. Me and my dad, Strange, and I just had this conversation. What do they have against our wallets, right? What do they have against our wallets? It has the U.S. premiere of documentary Fulci Talks and a booklet by Stephen freaking Thrower. For those that are unaware about how much I like Stephen Thrower, this is kind of my Bible, guys. Right here, Nightmare USA. As is his Franco. This is the first Franco book. I cannot show you the other cover for volume 2. So that's definitely Patreon exclusive. See, I have this here edition from Scorpion Releasing, and it has a 2018 2K scan, audio commentary with Troy Howard, a interview with Dardino Sacchi, Steel Gallery, and trailers, which is pretty good. Hey there, Robert. But it's not 4K. It doesn't have the Fulci Talks documentary, and it doesn't have a booklet by Stephen Thrower. Is that enough to get me rebuying in 4K the incredible film The Psyche, which is one of Lucio Fulci's most underrated giallo films? Yeah, it is. Really, that's a damn good title. One, it's a fantastic film. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all that jazzy stuff. You want a super chat or super sticker and get yourself a ghost face shout out. cake shout out. If you've never seen what that is, that's one way to do it. Then you can do so. Above all, enjoy yourself while you're here. Hey there, Nicole. Welcome. Hey, it's been a while since I've heard from you guys. First week July is going to be insane. As awesome. I try to keep up with you guys on Instagram. I don't get as an Instagram as much. Do you guys do TikTok? Let me know if you do TikTok, because it seems like you'd be good at that. Nicole and Kyle have been like longtime viewers of the channel, by the way, and they are fitness people who I want to be like. I'm not kidding. I'm getting in shape, guys. Had the Blu-ray, but this one it is. I mean, like it's a 4K edition. You do okay. Well, I'll definitely follow you on TikTok. We got a nice slipcover for this one here. We got an announcement yesterday for the last horror film, which is Joe Spinell and Carolyn Monroe, and that was a big deal. I kind of thought maybe the last horror film would be the big fun announcement. Hey there, goblins. Kind of aren't we all? Doesn't it seem like we all need to double dip on psychic right here? Well, I'm here. Let's do it. I am following right now. We got so much that we're going to be going through. There you go. This is Fulci. I mean, like the first time, my very first copy of this one was under the title Seven Notes in Black. And I think it was Popcorn Flakes that I put out like 3 different, like 2-disc Giallo sets. Hey there, Gino. Welcome, man. They put out 3 different Giallo sets when there were 2 discs each. And one of them had like 7 Notes in Black and Deep Red, some other stuff on it. It was a great way if you never like bought Giallo before to get into it. And it seems like, here's the thing. I've gotten like some people give kind of complaints when it comes to like screen factor, when it comes to some of their 4Ks, because it seems like they're just adding on like a 4K edition of a film and sticking with that. Like their only features are the features that were there before and the 4K and the Dolby Atmos track, right? So credit where credit is due. Vinegar Syndrome and Severin, when they normally put out a 4K release, there's brand new features that weren't available before. And that is pretty incredible. For those that have not seen the Psychic, it's a bit of a different. If you've ever seen, I guess the closest like North American, I could probably say is maybe The Eyes of Laura Mars. With Faye Dunaway is, kind of, not like completely, but kind of like that. Like I'll never complain about a 4K release when they give us something to go with it. When it's not just the same release, just with the same features. Unless you're like Halloween or Black Christmas, and then I'm going to buy you anyway, no matter what format it comes in. I kind of have to. It's what I have to do. Had to ask my better half, what do you think? The Psychic is getting a 4K release. Lucio Fulci film.
Nice.
I must buy. I will, actually. Had a really good conversation yesterday with a viewer on here. And was watching, and his name is Sean. And Sean is a cool guy. He showed me his Halloween box set. We talked for a while. I talked to his mom and his dad. And so Sean, if you're watching this video, thank you so much for contacting me. It was really cool. So, kid actually got this talk with Stephen Hawking, which is pretty amazing. It's something I would love to have done. Four Flies is one of the top 4K releases from last year, 100%. Four Flies is the one that I desperately want, Nicole. I desperately want to see brought back because I want Four Flies. I have the Shameless Blu-ray edition of Four Flies, and it is okay, but it is the definition of okay. It's not great. It's okay. And from what I hear, what they did with Four Flies was 4K done extremely right. I have yet to hear anything bad about a Severin 4K release. That's why someone would come out with like, well, I got something bad. So what do you guys think? We're going to look at the 101 Films summer sale in a minute. The sale is going on right now, and is going to be going on until the 30th. So literally, so get this. So 101 Films is having a summer sale. Summer sale goes on to the 30th. On the 30th, Severin starts their summer sale. On the 1st of July, Vinegar Syndrome starts their 7-day subscriber week sale. And then on August the 1st, Vinegar Syndrome's brand new website starts its adult sexploitation sale. Went to HorrorCon in Ontario. They had some on the table that I will find. I think they will find. Oh yeah, and it all started when everybody was stuck inside, right? Look, also it was like they called it convention stock, and I think when they put the convention stock on like live on the website, and they realized how well those were selling, because the thing is that when Severin does a sale and they put out convention stock, so titles that aren't like in stock anymore, it's not like those titles are on sale. They're not actually. They're at convention like regular sticker prices, but they still sell like crazy because people know that they can get them during the sale and only during the sale. So it's become kind of like an expectation and kind of like a lighthearted kind of joke thing, is that if I miss out on the Severin title, then I'll guess we'll get that thing from the sale. So apparently, I have to get I have to get the Psychic and the Four Flies on Grave Velvet come back. I will be forced to get that. I cannot stop myself. The cult has spoken. Don's Macabre box set, but haven't dived in yet. I'm actually very excited about that box set. That's one that my better half would like, I think. There's so much going on right now. It is insane. I know my dad is probably here, and he's like probably shaking his head like there are too many sales. There are way too many sales. Do you agree? There's so much going on. It's hard to keep up. Because right now, this is going on. 101 Films has a sale. So I'm not seeing like any black label stuff here, but we'll check. But there is some red label and some cult collection. I'll give you some recommendations along the way. I do have a few like titles, and I showed you a black label title yesterday when they announced that they're putting Christopher Nolan's The Following. And a few like that from the cult movie collection are like Rutger Hauer and Split Second, which is actually a really cool little film. Firewalker with Chuck Norris and Lou Gossett Jr. Absolutely amazing. Double Dragon. We liked it so much we bought it to get the MVD Rewind edition of it afterwards, which had features. Because see, cult movie collection editions do not normally have features. They're normally just the movie. But it was a way to get like cult films over in the UK that at the time were getting like big releases. So what would happen from there is they would do a red label as well. And a red label release is this. So this is Amazon Women on the Moon. This is one of the red label releases. So a red label release is a cult film, but with a lot of features put in. So this was one of my favorite little kind of like skit comedies when I was a kid. And there's like a bunch of actors in here, Sybil Danning, Steve Guttenberg, Carrie Fisher, Michelle Pfeiffer, a whole bunch of people. And so we got an interview with Carl Gottlieb. We got an interview with Daniel Pearl, because yes, the guy that worked on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, both the original and the remake. Yeah, he worked on this. We got an audio commentary with Nathaniel Thompson on here as well. And they also have skits that didn't make it into the actual film. So the extra skits are on here as well. It is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. It comes with an Amazon Women on the Moon booklet, which is actually super cool. If you're wondering why there is what looks like to be a dinosaur, but it's actually the Loch Ness Monster wearing a suit in Victorian London, then you'll have to watch Amazon Women on the Moon, because it is an insanely fun movie. And of course, there's an interview in this booklet with the beautiful Sybil Danning. Who is one of the reasons young Erin hit puberty. She's shaking her head. But there's some great stuff here. And we can see the Red Label stuff, because the Red Label it's got a Red Label. So we start off with Never Sleep Again, which of course I'm going to recommend. I have this one. This is the Blu-ray edition. The UK edition of Never Sleep Again has the same cover. Now it's not the time to lose your voice, Aaron. You can do this, Aaron. Don't let them see you cry. That's a joke that very few people are going to get. But I watch a board game channel called Actual LOL, and it's from Civilization's episode. So you can see we're loaded with special features there, commentary / scenes, For the Love of the Glove, Fred Heads, Horrors, Hollow Grounds, a bunch of stuff. The Angry Video Game Nerd thing, just a ton of stuff on here. And if you don't have Never Sleep Again, it's a great way to get it. When I got Never Sleep Again was before there was a Blu-ray edition of it. I bought a 2-disc DVD edition at HMV when HMV was still a thing. And I had to send away for it. It didn't come. They didn't have it come in their store. I had to send away for it. So recommendation on this one? Hell yeah. Next up is an early Don Johnson film, actually from 1975. And it is A Boy and His Dog. Again, this is another Red Label edition. So you're going to get some features on here as well, including In Conversation with Harlan Ellison and L.Q. Jones, and a commentary with L.Q. Jones, John Arthur Morell, and Charles Champlin. No, not Chaplin. Hey there, Swift. Welcome, man. So, dude, Swift, we got The Psychic coming in 4K from Severin, and we got a 101 film sale right now that we're just diving into. I enjoyed it. Did you like Buying His Dog? Do you remember it? Like an early sci-fi film with the young Don Johnson. Here's one that's probably, in all honesty, not even joking, probably more of my better half's style. And that is Death Sport. So what is Death Sport? It's Roger Corman, futuristic dudes on motorcycles in the future, starring David Carradine. Got a commentary on this one here with Alan Arkush and Larry Bach. A bunch of theatrical trailers, TV spots, radio spots, stills galleries, the whole thing. It's a shame. They do a lot of good stuff. Like George, they do 101 Films does a lot of amazing stuff. We got a double feature here with Deathstalker and Deathstalker 2. 101 Films definitely legit, man. And I like the Deathstalker films. Very different takes in part 1 and part 2, by the way. So we get Richard Hill in part 1 and Barbie Benton. And in part 2, they don't even talk about him right here, but part 2 has the guy from Hunk. I'm pretty sure it's the guy from Hunk, because it's not the same actor. It's like Deathstalker 2 takes a very more comedic turn in the sequel. John Treleski. It is John Treleski, yeah. Yeah, John Treleski and Monique Gabriel. So, it's Yale. And directed by Jim Wynorski. So, double yeah. And Death Sport the same as Death Race 2000. No, it's a different film altogether. But it's, it's in the same, like, genre. We got a commentary here with the director, James Cibardelati. Special effects makeup artist, the late John Carl Bushler, and Richard Brooker, the late Richard Brooker, who acted in this film and, of course, was Jason in Friday the 13th, Part 3, one of my favorite Jasons, to be honest with you. I wish I could have met him. I've met Kane, was really nice and very intense. Next up, still in the red label section, we have Crazy Mama. And Crazy Mama, I loved because we got, well, Cloris Leachman. We got Ann Southern. And if you're a Vinegar Syndrome fan, then Ann Southern is in a Vinegar Syndrome title. Do you remember what it is? See who the first person to remember what the Ann Southern Vinegar Syndrome title is. Yes, I know I have it. It also stars John Savage. We have Linda Pearl and Donnie Most from Happy Days. So that's two people that were acted in Happy Days. I give it a few more seconds and I will tell you what Ann Southern's Vinegar Syndrome title is. In 3, in 2, in 1. It's The Killing Kind. Ann Southern was in The Killing Kind. We followed up with Caged Heat. I was going to say Chained Heat. Good movie, too, but different film altogether. Love this cover, by the way. And it's directed by Jonathan Demme, the guy that will go on to do Silence of the Lambs. This was his first film. And we get some good actors in this. So we got Erica Gavin, who they say Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, but for me, Erica Gavin is always going to be Vixen. Ninja in the Closet of the CIA. Broke your brains. It definitely sounds like it sounds like a hidden title. It really does. We also get Barbara Steele. Roberta Collins is in this as well. Rainbow Smith. Great little film. Commentary with Jonathan Demme and Tak Fujimoto and Gavin as well. And we get a Leonard Maltin interviews Roger Corman. And I'm pretty sure that the Leonard Maltin interviews Roger Corman thing is probably what they showed on the Corman collection. Because I think when Shout Factory did the Corman collection, there was like a Roger Corman interview that was done by Leonard Maltin on there. White hot desires melting cold prison steel. And it is 7 Great Britain pounds. So there you go, 7 pounds on the nose. All Vinegar Syndrome fans will be familiar with Raw Force, one of the most insane movies that just literally throws everything at the wall and sees what sticks. We've all saw the amazing story of the Burbank Kung Fu Club and their zombie fights. It is probably the most well-known Vinegar Syndrome title. It's almost their mascot at this point. But that one here as a red label one. So if you're not in the US or Canada and you're not grabbing Vinegar Syndrome stuff, this is a really good one, guys. This is a lot of fun and it is utterly insane. I don't have the sequel. If that's the newer one, I especially don't have what I've seen. Crystal Lake Memories. This one I do have on Blu-ray. We got the complete history of Friday the 13th here as well. So you can go in if you don't have either one of them. You get the Nightmare on Elm Street documentary. You can get the Crystal Lake Memories documentary. You get both of them. It is insane. 400 minutes of content over 2 discs. Commentary with Daniel Farrens, Peter Brack, and Luke Rafalowski. You did not pick up Raw Force yet? I'm surprised, George. It's a crazy film. That's a good film. Baghead from 2008, which is so kind of insane. I'm going to do a dramatic reading. What debating the merits of writing a screenplay based on a bag-headed serial killer Four friends soon discover that there may be more to their story than meets the eye. When a stolen car battery, strange noises, and a mysterious disappearance or two lead them to believe a sack-wearing maniac may be lurking right outside their door. So it's a film done in 2008. We got commentaries on here. I don't remember this very well, which was the other reason for the dramatic reading, by the way. This one I do because I bought this one in Ottawa at a Blockbuster Video in their like used film section. Hey, Senator Katie, welcome, man. I had never seen it before, never heard of it, turned it on, had a blast. It didn't make it back to Canada with me, unfortunately, with Canada too. Didn't make it back to Newfoundland with me when I came back. And it's a shame because I've always wanted to re-get this film. This is a good movie. It is cheesy. It is fun. It's definitely, it didn't reinvent the wheel with what it does. And it's called Monster Man. It is about a killer that is a monster truck. And it is a cool little film. And this one will definitely it'll get a dramatic reading. Monster trucks have gigantic wheels, carriages of steel, tons of horsepower, and crush anything in their way. On desolate I-55, there is one monster truck that gives new meaning to the name. It's not just that the truck that is monstrous, so is the driver. When two college buddies drive cross-country, stumbling across the monster truck's path, they have more than a bar full of amputee yokos to worry about. Yes, it is insane, but it is fun, and there's a humor to it, kind of a dark humor that I enjoy. For £7, that's definitely a good buy. And now we get into one I don't know. Sweetie, You Won't Believe It, from 2020. Looks another Red Label film, actually, but the only feature here is a trailer, which is different for a Red Label film. Gory revenge slapstick splatter film. So it could be fun. I don't know if you've seen it. Definitely let me know. Some of these I won't just go. Open Ranges here as well. No Man of God, limited edition. Uncle Peckerhead, The Headhunter. I'm only going to go into the stuff that I'm definitely going to recommend. And some of these, are good watches, but I'm not sure if I'm going to recommend them. Pledge Night is a lot of fun. Here's another one the Vinegar Center put out as well. This one is, it's probably best known from who's in it and that, but I know it's definitely I enjoyed it. I used to have this on DVD a long time ago. As it's one that I need to buy again. I'll probably get the Vinegar Center edition, or maybe one of these days I'll pick up this edition because I do like it. It's a fun little film, and if you like slashers, you're going to add it to your collection. Black Windmill is one of the I think it's one of the Harry Palmer films, right? Yeah, with Don Siegel starring, directing. We got it. Yeah, Joy from Anthrax. I knew there was an Anthrax guy from. I knew it was Anthrax. I knew there was a guy from a metal band in there. Okay, no, it's Major John Tarrant. It's not Harry Palmer in this one. I think I have the Black Windmill, actually. I think I've got the Kino edition of it. Late Phases is more of a modern day werewolf movie that I'm definitely going to recommend. It's a fantastic film, and way, way, way too many people can go and have slept on it. Spring's an interesting title. That one's sold out though. It looks like it was so interesting it's sold out. The next one is that Cell is by Victor Salva, and screw that guy. But it's sold out. Sold out really quickly, actually. I need to get the disc. The Deep is here, which is kind of a surprise. I think Scream Factory. I think this might have been an early Scream Factory release. Or am I thinking of the other one? I'm probably thinking of the other film. No, I'm thinking of the other one because The Deep. I'm not sure if this is. Does this have a North American release, guys? Because this is Jacqueline Bisset, right? Yeah. Okay. So I remember this movie, but from when I was a kid, I don't remember watching it. even on DVD. Like VHS was the last time I saw The Deep. We got In Order of Disappearance with Stellan Skarsgård. Reborn, not a good movie, but at least doesn't have that director attached to it. Wormwood Apocalypse is here. Not a bad film. Night of the Living Dead Reanimation. Never really bothered to watch, to be honest with you. Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, I actually saw in theater. Milo Ringwald's in that one. Is actually a really fun film. Strong recommendation, but it's sold out, so I guess that's not going to help on Runaway. So it's a Tom Selleck movie where, like, it's a futuristic one where Gene Simmons, that Gene Simmons, plays an evil robotic guy that actually has like evil like robots and stuff like that. The Lords of Flatbush is a really good title as well. You got Perry King, you got Henry Winkler in there as well, Sylvester Stallone. Love this movie. Doesn't get talked about enough. Very good film. And hopefully there's some features on this one. Sadly, there's not. And it's such a good movie too. If you've never seen The Lords of Flatbush, it's a really good film. It's definitely of its time, but it's definitely one that I adore. Girl on Third Floor is here. Prince Signed the Times. Rest in peace, man. Rabbit is cool because they have Rabbit and they have, this is the new Rabbit by the Soska Sisters. And on here in the features, they have The Quiet Revolution, State Society, and the Canadian Horror Film Part 2. So they also have the original Rabbit. And if you buy the original Rabbit and you buy the new Rabbit, then you get the entire exploitation documentary. And as far as I know, at this point, it is the only place to get the documentary. And I am pretty sure, I'm going to make sure, but I think Rabbit has both mine and Hin's favorite wrestler of all time in it. It does, Hind. As our favorite wrestler, Phil Brooks, otherwise known as CM Punk. We got The Quest here, a Van Damme film, and that's not a bad Van Damme film. Room 237, everybody should own this. It's insane. It is a documentary about people and what they think The Shining is about. Spoiler alert. Insane things that it's not about. If you ever had a friend to like watch the movie and got something totally out of it that nobody else in the world did? Room 237 is like that. You got a guy that says that Room 237 is proof that Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing. You got another person that says it's about like Native Americans. Then you have another person that says it's about like it's a really sexy film and deals with a lot of like sexuality and repression. I'm thinking there's a lot of self-projection in these deluded but really fun people. We got Project X here from 1968, Crack the World from 1965, Colossus of New York. This is one my dad would definitely pick up if he doesn't already have it. Before Dawn is here from 2013. Bait is here. But Native American genocide because there's baking powder. Yes, you saw the documentary. That Disco Inferno. No, not Disco Inferno. Hind, are you a huge Disco Inferno fan? Do you know what that is?
Is it a wrestling? Oh, God.
WCW guy.
Yes.
He was in TNA for a bit.
No.
It was a joke in TNA.
Horrible.
Horrible. There you go. Horrible. It's an idea.
Are you referring to Disco Inferno Twitter? No, thank you. And podcasts? No, thanks.
Does he have a podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, watch that podcast. We got Plunkett and McLean in here. Basketball. Would you consider Basketball in one of the greatest movies ever made?
No.
It's by the guys from South Park. And it's got their humor. Yeah, the original Black Rabbit was a black. Is it still like? Is it still Does it still have the limited edition? I don't think it does, George. I think we're at the standard edition now for Rabbit. For the like, you might have a numbered spawn, but you won't get the limited edition version that was initially out there. Because I know I was going to buy it. Every Tired Wrestler has a podcast, and half of them are done by the same guy, right? They're all done by what's his name? The guy that married one of the Flair daughters. Because it's the same guy that does this one with 88 weeks with Eric Bischoff and you know what I'm talking about, right? Conrad, yeah. Here's Conrad and and listen to Kiss Ass Bruce Pritchard live at everything. We got Nightmares of Sold Out. I love saying the name. Sold Out. One that my better have, one of the very first ones that my better have bought actually from them was the Lou Ferrigno collection. So this will tell you the taste of my spouse. It has The Adventures of Hercules Part 2, and Sinbad and the Seven Seas. But not only that, guys, she also has a Blu-ray of Sinbad, another Blu-ray of Sinbad and the Seven Seas from Kino, which has a feature on. We got the Island Doc Moreau here from 1977. The one we don't have, I'm shocked we don't have to have this one. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker is a satirical send-up on blaxploitation cinema. And oh my God, is it good. It is the best thing the Wayne brothers ever did. Like hands down. Next to Living Color. So no, even better than Living Color. It's the best thing they ever did. My favorite thing is when the guy that played Huggy Bear, like who's like the pimp character, gets out of jail, and he's been in jail for like a long time. So he's coming out with his 70s clothes on, and he's got his like pimp cane and a big hat with like a huge feather in it. And he's got his platform heel like boots, but it's it's kind of like hard glass, and there's like dead goldfish in them. I never listened to Kevin Nash podcast, probably because he doesn't watch AEW wrestling. I take offense to that. Kevin Nash, but I do like Nash. We got Ghost Warrior here, which came out originally from Scream Factory as a double feature. Death Warrant from Van Damme. We have What We Do in the Shadows, which was a great movie and an even better TV series, to be honest with you. Amazon Women on the Moon, which I showed you guys, and I do recommend you own. We have FX, The Complete Illusion. So FX 1 and 2 are here. Suck is the best. We recommend Fear of the Black Hat too. I also agree. We got The Night Clerk, The Founding of Republic, Beyond the Edge. Okay, yes. Them. So them terrified me when I first saw it. How's that in French? Il? I-L-S. Il. Okay, Il. This is a French one. And basically, it's, for me, a more realistically kind of creepier version of the Strangers. So,
Il means they.
Yeah. But that was called Il. But in the American translation of it is that. So, Clementine, a beautiful young teacher, and her lover Lucas live in an idyllic, isolated existence in a large house in the middle of rural paradise. But tonight, that paradise will be shattered beyond all comprehension because something is watching, something is waiting, something unknown, unhinged, and unrelenting. They are all around. They are in the shadows, and they will stop at nothing to get inside the distraught couple's dark, cavernous home. As blind panic takes over Clementine and Lucas, must face a terrifying test of endurance to discover the true nature of the evil just outside their door, the true nature of them. It's a really good film. What do you think, Hind? Did you watch it? You know it's a good creepy film because my better half is too creepy to watch it. Of course, we use the same building from Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John skating around in it. I like that. We got Bradley Cooper's American Evil here. In the Name of the King, you can probably skip that one. The Falling, Grave Encounters 2, Days of Glory, Under Milk Way. Howl is here, St. George's Day Banquet, Summer in February, Grandmaster, Lebanon, Lovely Molly, Warlord, Essex Boys, Lost Survival, The Intergalactic Adventures of Max Cloud, Saints and Soldiers, Airborne Creed, Governors, Stakeland, House of the Devil. That's a really good movie, actually. Assembly, Left Behind. You can leave that one behind as well, by the way. Oh, it's a really good film, George. You'd like it. Age of Heroes, Battle of Wits, Essex Boys Retribution, The Wee Man, Attack on Leningrad, Sunset Song, Sugar Mountain, Reprisal, The Duel. That's actually a really good movie. Gods and Warriors, Pimp, Humanity Bureau, Crypto, Blackwater, Iron Sky, The Coming Race, Jack the John Killer. This is a good one because Jack the John Killer includes, I think, both versions of the film. It does. So Jack the John Killer came out, it's like a 1960s fancy film. But there was a musical version of it too. And this one includes the musical edition of it as well. Kino put it out in North America. So if you have the Kino edition, you're probably not going to need to get this one. But if you live in the UK, it's definitely an interesting title to get. We got a Kern Matthews, who's one of my favorites in here, and Torrin Thatcher starring in this film. Redcon 1, we got Sirens here. The absolutely fantastic Phantom of the Opera with Robert Englund. Left Behind with Nicolas Cage. I Am Wraith. Ghoulies, which is now coming out on 4K for the first time from MVD. Braven, which I'm going to recommend because it's a Jason Momoa film that was shot in Newfoundland. There's actually a couple when he goes into the cafe. It's a St. John's restaurant. It's a really good film. So on this page here, I'm going to recommend Braven, Ghoulies, if you don't mind not getting the 4K, Phantom of the Opera, and top marks to them. We get to the next one, and I don't think anybody's going to be recommending Jeepers Creepers 3. Alain Delon's Zorro is actually not bad. We got Blindfold with Rock Hudson and Claudia Cardinale. Paradise Alley, an early Sylvester Stallone film. One of my favorite 80s films, Into the Night, with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer. As you can see, we're diving into now, after Zorro, we got into a lot of these kind of cult classic type things. We're starting to get to these dual formats. And what's really neat, we got some of these here, kind of like these classic cheesy fun stuff too. Do you get Region B discs delivered faster than when I was in Canada? 100%. Because we don't get them delivered here to Morocco. We have my better half has friends and family in Paris, so we get our stuff delivered to Paris, and it's just we have to go to get them or wait till somebody comes in. So I still can get some stuff, and it's easier for me to get stuff from the UK and cheaper, but it means having to wait a while for it to come. So my unboxings may be a little longer in between them, but they'll be bigger. The Land Unknown is here. The Mole People is here. We got the Boxer with Daniel Day-Lewis. 2 Minute Warning is actually not a bad one. And if that was one extra minute, there'll be a wrestling team. Cherry Falls, sadly, it's not going to be the uncut edition because that's disappeared. It has not surfaced as of yet. And as far as I know, it is unfortunately one of those that's lost to time. It is as lost as many of the Patrick Troughton Doctor Who episodes. Sadly, that's been the case for Cherry Falls because there was an unrated edition. Who would have thunk that a guy would make a comedic slasher film about a slasher that's killing teenagers that are virgins, forcing the teenagers to have an orgy to be survivors, that it would get censored? I'm shocked. We got one of him's actually not even joking when she actually really likes Truck Turner with Isaac Hayes. We got FX2 and FX here if you want to buy them separately, but why would you want to buy them separately when you can buy the set? Tarantula is here. Nicolas Cage in Vengeance. Monkey Bone. Page 3 is actually picked up a lot. Alligator People. I'll get you, Alligator Man. Sky Riders from 76 is here. 5 Weeks in a Balloon from 1962. I'm guessing my dad has seen a lot of these movies. Wedding in White. Donald Pleasance and Carol Kane. Okay, what the heck is this? Today is the happiest day of her life. She looks miserable. Okay. Set during World War II, the film stars Carol Kane as Jenny Dougal, a teenager who is assaulted by Billy, a friend of her brother Jimmy's, while the two men are home on furlough. She subsequently struggles against the hard and cruel reactions of her parents, Jim and Mary, Donald Pleasance and Doris Petrie. She discovers that the incident has left her pregnant. Jim's proposed solution is for her to get married. This sounds kind of depressing. It might be a great film, though. It's probably a great film. 51st State is here. I'm depressed now, guys. Dr. Goldfoot. Carol Kane has always been an amazing actress, and you're right. She's 100% underrated. You saw her for the first. That's amazing. We got both Dr. Goldfoot movies here and an extra bonus, Master of the World. We have the Van Damme collection, which is AOL, known as Lionheart here in North America, Death Warrant, and of course Black Eagle, which is not a Van Damme film. Actually, it's a Sho Kosugi film that has Van Damme in it. We have the Three Amigos here, which I saw in theater when I was a kid. Ghoulies 2 is here. Exterminator 2. Delta Force 2, lots of 2s. Solar Warriors, which I'm pretty sure I saw under the name Solar Babies. It, the Terror from Beyond Space. Firewalker. The Playboys. Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Dr. Goldfoot and the Girl Bombs. Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine. But again, I ask you, if you can pay £7 for one Dr. Goldfoot one, pay £14 for two, why would you not pay £10 for both Dr. Goldfoot movies and a third Vincent Price film? Charlie Chan and the Curse of the Dragon Queen, which stars Peter Ustinov as Charlie Chan, and that's not problematic at all. We have The Falcon and the Snowman, Lou Ferrigno and Sinbad and of the Seven Seas. That has John Steiner from Tenebrae as the villain. The Adventures of Hercules #2. Pray for Death with Sho Kosugi. Rage of Honor with Sho Kosugi. We got Hercules here with Lou Ferrigno. Missing in Action with Chuck Norris. Blast from 1997 with Rutger Hauer. Mean Guns with Ice-T and Christopher Lambert. Crazy Six, another film with Ice-T and Rob Lowe. Gang Related with James Belushi. Toy Soldiers, a fantastic little film, which I got on Mill Creek release. The Lost World from 1960. Future World, the sequel to Westworld. Michael Caine's in Play Dirty from 1969. He is so good. He does ham it up. He hams up in just the best. John Steiner is so good at hamming things up. You just love his characters. We got AWOL here on its own. Black Eagle on its own. Double Dragon, which I showed you guys. Nemesis, the original one with Olivier Grenier. Ironheart with Bolo Young. Mark Dacascos in Sabotage. We have Lord of Illusion, the Clive Barker film. And we ended off with a Nemesis box set, which includes all 4 films. So if you don't have the MVD release, 2 releases, because you're going to need 2 releases to make it up to it. Have a great evening there, George, man. Rest in peace, Mr. Pion is right. I thought I saw my name there first and I got worried. But then I remembered that Pion, the guy that directed Nemesis, actually unfortunately passed away. So MVD put this out with Nemesis and its own disc, and Nemesis 2, 3, and 4 with its own release as well. But it was, I enjoyed these films. I really did. And they're very different because Olivier Grenier is in the first one. And they have like a female bodybuilder like take over for the other films for 2, 3, and 4. There is sort of a fifth one. Most people don't consider it the fifth one. 101 Films is like the action label. They got a lot of stuff. 101 Films, VSA, very similar. Except 101 Films, action films, mostly better than the VSA stuff. Just gonna put that out there. I think I have. Let me see if I got it right here. If I have it in like reaching distance, I will show you the Nemesis releases. But it seems like I'm getting ready to like do something. If you're on my Patreon, I did my life in horror cinema, the 90s edition, which has both a video and a podcast edition up on my Patreon right now. By the way, now is a great time to be on my Patreon because we're going to be doing we got the coming up the big Severin sale. We got the Vinegar Syndrome sale. In August, we're going to be diving deep into the Vinegar Syndrome's new adult like website. I don't think we'll be getting anything from this particular sale right here this time around. Like it's definitely a better sale for me than a lot of the sales because it's in the UK and the prices are lower. But I have a lot of this stuff. Like for me, if I was to grab anything, them would be like heavy on there. Monster Man would be like a thought for sure. Caged Heat, Deathstalker, and Deathstalker 2, that type of stuff will be the type of stuff that I would look at. It's just with so much going on right now. That's the killer part. But if you live in the UK, for instance, like you're not always going to be able to go and grab like Severin or Vinegar Syndrome, and which is great. And there are people that that live like in Europe or the UK, Scotland, whatever, and they buy like the Vinegar Syndrome, the Severin stuff. But there's people that can't, and so sometimes I think, well, there's so many sales, there's too many sales going on at once, and if you buy from everything, it's like that can definitely be the case. But if you don't have the ability to buy from a Severin or a Vinegar Syndrome, if it's too expensive, it's too far away, if the shipping or whatever is too much, then like some of these smaller sales are godsends for collectors in other areas. And I tend to forget. I used to forget that because I would, my blinders would be on for stuff that I would buy, and I would be in Canada, and the Severin sale and the Vinegar Syndrome sale, they were huge. They were like big deals. But and I would pass up on these 101 film sales, on some of the Arrow sales. Arrow was one of the ones that I go out of my way for though, because at the time, like I'd be, what, why these sales they're not as big, they're not as important. But for somebody that may be living in the UK, maybe they don't have a region free player, maybe they want to get some like cool like kind of cult titles. These are great. Like these are great sales. A Botanist Dog, one of the precursors influences the Mad Max and Italian post-apocalypse movies, that post-apocalyptic films. That's true, actually. A Botanist Dog is a very underrated film. And sadly, it's mostly known nowadays, Jesse, because because Don Johnson's in it. And it should be known for just being a really good film. Like that should be why we look at A Botanist Dog, because it was a really good film. So what do you guys think tonight? Are you getting anything from the 101 film sale? Are you going to be picking up The Psychic when you pick up the last horror film? Because we're looking at not just The Psychic, but it's in 4K. It's got that sexy limited edition slipcover. I know you guys like these slipcovers, but we pretend we don't. We pretend we're above it. Like you'll say, there's so many people that I'll see like come onto like the Vinegar Syndrome like fan page, quote unquote, or the collectors group. And there's always somebody that comes along and says, "Hey there, Scott, welcome on." Well, they say that too, but they'll say things like, "Well, I'm not paying for a slipcover. I can't believe people pay so much money just to get a slipcover." Nobody pays in Vinegar Syndrome just to get a slipcover. People pay to they're paying for restoration. They're paying for the extra features. They're paying for like a level of quality that they wouldn't get otherwise. Vinegar Syndrome and Severin, they do that. They put out features and they put out like quality restorations, remasters, brand new audio tracks, brand new features, documentaries, amazing things. Slipcovers are gravy on top of that. Nightmare and Damage Brain, that one's been rumored, Jesse. We haven't seen it come up yet, but with the psychic here, I wouldn't be surprised if that's tomorrow's announcement. I'm kind of thinking that their announcements are going to stop on the 26th. The difference between Severin and Vinegar Syndrome when it comes to announcements is Vinegar Syndrome will always hold back a couple titles, and then they'll announce them when the sale goes live. Severin does it differently. They roll out announcements day after day, usually, until they get to their last announcement, and they hold nothing back for the sale. Except for the new Giallo from Vincent next one. That's true. There's a new Giallo coming up from them. They said it's a really sleazy one, too. It may be their sleaziest Giallo yet. And that makes me think, because here's the thing. Vinegar Syndrome put out a Forgotten Giallo box set with Arabella and Sister Ursula. And if you have seen those movies, and I know me and my better half sat down and watched Sister Ursula once we got it from the UK, by the way. How in the hell? What's sleazier? And how is it possible to be sleazier than the Sister of Ursula? Do they not remember what the weapon is in Sister of Ursula? There's legit kind of close to hardcore sequences put into Sister of Ursula. How do we get sleazier than that? Prices that are shown in the UK tax. So a checkout with $7 title is actually $5.83 for non-UK customers. So we're looking at VAT, Sculptor. That's an amazing deal right there. Yes, unless this is like a Giallo film made by gynecologists, I don't see how it gets sleazier than Sister of Ursula. Vinegar Syndrome are putting out a Giallo film, and they're saying it's the sleaziest that they've ever put out. And they put out Sister of Ursula.
You want to do it?
What?
You want to do it?
Sure. I'm sure somebody's done it. The gynecologist Giallo. Oh my God. Just watch. Just by saying it, I've willed it into existence. It's going to be a thing now, guys. But what Sculptor said there is an amazingly important thing. If you are living outside of the UK, those £7 titles are $5.83. That's a really good price, because they're taking the VAT out for you guys. As much as you want that, you prefer Forgotten Giallo Volume 6. Kind of Giallo. Oh, God. I actually recently talked about in my 90s video a film that I was a really big fan of back then. I saw it in theater, actually. It was The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Because almost every guy, I was in love with Rebecca De Mornay. We all were, after watching, Risky Business. Who didn't fall in love with her with that, the sequence on the subway, right? But you get Hand That Rocks the Cradle, and it's a bit like an OBGYN guy at the beginning of it, played by John Delancey from Days of Our Lives, no less, or Q for you Star Trek fans out there, who's super creepy, and his actions and reaction to getting caught actually is the catalyst for the entire film. That is about that one, and I guess Dead Ringers are as close as we got so far to the OBGYN thriller films. Yeah, the Anchor Bay Mad Mission box set. I got 3 of those 4. They're fun. I didn't expect to be talking about a. I should have expected, but I did not expect to be talking about a Severin title today. I'm glad I am. These are for Dad. I know you're out there. Look at this. Look at it. You know, eventually, you're going to have to talk to Dina and say, you know what, we're going to have to get a 4K player, or we're going to have to get like you say it like this. Right. I'm getting stressed out a bit. Maybe I need a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X for relaxation purposes. Shh, don't tell her I'm saying this. And both of those have like 4K players in them. So you've already got a 4K TV. Plotting with my dad over on live video. There we go. But yeah, this is a big announcement. Hey, there's Sim Dave. Welcome, man. Just stopped in and say hello. Dude, you can come anytime that you want. And you're welcome onto the channel anytime you want to. We have a big sale coming up. Just letting you know if you're available. Probably get the last horror film because we've never seen it, but we probably won't double dip on the psychic. Last horror film is a really good one. It was shot in Cannes, like parts were shot in Cannes. And Jaleel, isn't he from Cannes, right? Or he lived in Cannes?
He was born.
Was born. So my better half, one of her sisters' husbands, was born in Cannes actually, and he actually would like skip off school and stuff and like sneak into the Cannes Film Festival. So yeah, that guy has a life that is amazing. Just put it out there. What a sweet guy. Yeah, his birthday was this week. What a sweetheart. Yeah, I noticed TCM drama. There, for those that don't know what Sam and Dave is talking about, Warner Brothers have decided to like headhunt Turner Classic Movies and get rid of a bunch of higher up people that work in Turner Classic Movies. When they did that, Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese and at least one other director said, "Oh, well, I guess you don't want our films then," and spoke out against it. So it's been an interesting week. There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on this week. Cinema Dave, this here title, by the way, of all the Jallowish style titles that are out there, this one is more your type. It's The Psychic. It stars American actress Jennifer Neal. Or is she Canadian? She's Canadian, right? Jennifer Neal. I'm going to look. I thought she was Canadian. Just watch. Like, there's these actors that act in a lot of American Canadian films. I'm always kind of wondering, are you American or Canadian? Oh. I thought she was. She's Brazilian. I would not have guessed that one. That one's I would not have guessed Brazilian out of all that stuff. Yeah, like they're selling off a lot of their music library. So there was, and I'm gonna out myself here as as doing a stupidly reactive thing. So on Facebook, they talked about Warner Brothers. Somebody had a thing. Warner Brothers is selling off the rights to this, and this, and Batman. And all I saw was Warner Brothers selling off the rights to Batman. And I'm like, this is a total lie. I hate like misleading headlines. And somebody said, you know, they're talking about the music, right? And then I said, yes, but the headline is misleading. Then I reread the headline, realized I did not see the word music in the headline title, and felt like a complete ass. Did I delete my comment? No, because Aaron will take the embarrassment because Aaron earned the embarrassment. Warner Archives is hopefully something that we don't lose. If we do, it's going to be a lot. I thought we were going to lose Warner Archives when the website went down. So for those that don't remember, Warner Archives is a really, it's been a big deal for saving a lot of Warner titles, pre-code cinema, film noir, a lot of really great stuff. And if don't think if you don't like that stuff, we won't be touched because there's horror stuff too. Return to Salem's Lot, Night School, like a ton of like films and TV shows as well. Sim Dave has found some amazing Warner Archive stuff. Even at library sales. I'm so jealous still, Dave. I'm super jealous. But Warner Archives had a website. One of the worst things about Warner Archives website, and I will call this out right now, is they would have these amazing 4 for 40 sales. Incredible sales for some great stuff. And they would lock it into US only. And I am sorry, but if you're as big as Warner, you should never be locking your sale titles into one country. It is asinine. So what happened? Warner Archives website closed down. They moved the Warner Archives stuff over to Amazon to in a cost saving thing. This was pre-Discovery Buy, by the way. So we got like Warner gone over to Amazon to have an Amazon store like a lot of people do. VI, for instance, they do like kind of like cheaper stuff and TV shows and all that. They have like they have a store on Amazon. I could have a store on Amazon. That's the thing. It's a way to save money. But now like Warner Discovery has come in. It's been bought by Discovery. What does that mean exactly? Well, it means that David Zaslav is in control of Warner. And David Zaslav is very much a headhunting type of guy. So what happens with that is that they'll hire a guy and they'll want him to get down and cut costs. And in order to get somebody in head to do that, what they do is they offer an amount, like a stipend amount, where basically they say, we'll give you so many $1 million if you can cut the costs on all these things right here. So the first thing that happened was he went in and he canceled a bunch of shows and he canceled a bunch of films. So there was The Flash is out now with Michael Keaton, right? As Batman. But there was another film, Batgirl, which had Michael Keaton in it a lot. That film was completely made to save money. I kid you not, to save money and to use it as a tax write-off. He canceled the film and didn't like, I'm okay, it's not going to be a theater film. We're going to put it in streaming service or something like that, or we're just going to put it straight to DVD or Blu-ray. He completely canceled it so that, it's going to be destroyed. Nobody's ever going to see it. That is utterly terrifying when you have that mindset for art, that something can be taken into a completely business context and the whole art aspect of it is taken out. What really kills me is I'd recently kind of flown over to Morocco, and I'd watched In the Heights, which was of course, based on the musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And one of the highlights of that film was the actress that would be the star of Batgirl. Long live physical media is right. So we really have to keep an eye on Warner and collecting Warner titles. So if you want to get your Warner Archive stuff, keep an eye out. Things are changing on a daily basis. And here's the thing. Warner might sell their titles to somebody else who may use it for one streaming service purposes only. If that's the case, and they sell off the archives, this is a maybe. This is not something that we know. But here's the thing. Anytime they sell to a streaming website or anything like that, what we get is we have it where basically there's going to be a titles that may not make it onto the they may not make it through. So when you do like an acquisition, often what will happen is basically they'll have a lot of titles. Not everything is going to go onto that streaming service. Not everything is going to make it onto onto Blu-ray or 4K. There's certain titles that are picked up just to be picked up because they're part of a package. And that's one of the scary things when it comes to that, because we don't know where it's where it's going to go, and we don't know what's safe and what's not safe. A lot of titles that I would like would probably not be safe with Warner Archives. And as much as I like a lot of the film noir and the pre-code stuff, the pre-code stuff started out as being sets that they put in stores and like on Amazon and stuff like that, and then went on to like kind of like made on demand type of thing. So the later pre-code sets didn't have like the regular releases that the other ones did. You'd have to go and like buy them, kind of like you have to look for them, same the way that you would look for some of their later stuff like their Tarzan releases. My dad has all the Tarzan releases that came out. He was smart and he bought them when they came out. A lot of those Tarzan film releases, it's either extremely expensive or impossible to buy nowadays. It's a crazy time. So we got like, on one side of it, we've got this golden age of collecting, where boutique labels are putting in some of the best stuff that we've ever seen, in some of the best releases with the best quality that we can imagine, with features and deep dives and cards and posters and all this stuff we couldn't have even thought about getting around 10 years ago. And on the other side of this, we have this streaming war with companies acquiring other companies. And when that happens, things are falling between cracks. And every time we move from one format to another, every time a company acquires another company, something gets lost along the way. That's my doom and gloom segment for today. So, as always, I am going to say, buy these type of things. Forbidden Hollywood, some of the best sets that we got in our collection. This is volumes 2 and volumes 3. They're not loaded with great films, but they're loaded with great documentaries. If you want to know about pre-code cinema, volume 2 has a documentary called "Thou Shalt Not: Sex, Sin, and Censorship in Pre-code Cinema," pre-code Hollywood. Actually, I kind of want to watch this. India, we might actually watch this actually. Volume 3, William Wellman, one of the big renegade directors from that time period. We don't have one documentary on William Wellman here, which is called Wild Bill, Hollywood Maverick. We have 2. The men who made the movies, William A. Wellman, including commentaries in each of these vintage era shorts, a bunch of stuff. Something I definitely recommend. We have sales. We have announcements. Some good, like The Psychic. Some not so good, like what the hell is happening to Warner Brothers right now. I'm kind of hoping that they did the Flash like film, that that's the end of the DCEU. I know that I wasn't a super big fan of a lot of the DCEUs. I like some of it, but I didn't like a lot of it. But I'm hoping that for the people that were fans of it, that they got their ending that they wanted with the Flash. I'm excited about DCU, and hopefully some good movies. Anyway, check out the 101 Film Sale. It's got some great stuff. If you live outside of the UK, the VAT is taken off, so the films are even cheaper. Yes, my George actually emailed me, messaged me. It's the second It Follows was announced. It Follows and Crimes of the Future releases. So they look really sexy. I need more Second Sight in my life. I need more Second Sight in my collection. I have Martin, was sent to me by George. It's in Paris right now, and I can't wait to see it. It's a 4K edition of Martin. kind of a favorite of mine. One of those films that that gets talked about a lot, but never gets really discussed, like in the whole zeitgeist of like in that period. Watching for the sale streams. Be sure you check it out. We'll be doing a pre-show. And it's Cinema Day, by the way. If I'm not sure if you're busy or not, but you are welcome to join me, man. It's on the 30th, so let me know. We're gonna be doing where I'm doing a pre-show, and I'm doing a Patreon show for the Severin sale. I'll be doing sale videos for all 7 days of the Vinegar Syndrome sale, and we have stuff coming up leading up to that August 1st brand new website as well. And I don't think we're finished with these announcements, so you're probably going to see me here tomorrow, sweating my butt off, talking about yet another Severin announcement, because this has been a big time, and we'll follow up and keep an eye on Vinegar Syndrome and see if there's any more like announcements or any more clarification on the new website and Vinegar Syndrome's news that the adult titles are being taken away and put into their own website and being set as their complete own thing. It's been an amazing week for physical media, and with that, I will see you guys soon right here in the very warm Cult of Cinema. I need more ice. Talk to y'all later.